The very first impression or image of the word love could have different meaning for different age group of people in different situations or circumstances of life, or amongst people in different stages of life. However, if love is from God, as mentioned in verse 7, then what kind of love are we talking about? If we read the entire passage from verse 7 to verse 12, it says in verse 10, God sent His only Son into the world so that we might live through Him. So there is a sacrifice involved. We see sacrificial love in God sending His only Son so that we may live. In verse 11, we see we ought to love one another. We have to love. It is a command. And finally, to answer the human question of what's in it for me, we see in verse 12, it says, if we love one another, God abides in us, and His love is perfected in us. Though we are not perfect, but we are always looking for perfection. And where better to start with but with oneself? And this can only happen through God. So remember that love is from God. We ought to love one another, and if we do that, God abides in us.